I want to talk about disease. There is only one disease. There's only one. You know, the medical industry, the experts, the professionals, which are really just quacks, they have a host of diseases. So many different diseases. And this is just one of many reasons I call them quacks. They really, with all the schooling, all the education, they're still stupid. They still don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All these diseases. So many. There's so many different types of cancer. There's several different types of heart disease. There's all these different, I don't know. It's just so much shit. Like diabetes, you got neurological diseases, you got fucking fibromyalgia and diabetes. I think I said that. You got kidney disease, you got liver disease, you got fucking stomach disease, you got throat disease, and you know, diseases of the eyes and the fucking ears and like everything, like the limbs, fucking the arthritises and the carpal tunnels, or however you say that. Carpal tunnel, I think, is what it's called. And on and on and on. There's so many, the experts, so many different categories of disease, and they just break it down based on what part of the body is being affected. You know, so if you know there's something going on with your eyes, for example, they might say you have cataracts or some other shit. You know, I don't know, shit. Something going on with your throat. They might say you have tonsillitis or some other shit, you know. So it depends. Like if it's your stomach, you know, that could be stomach cancer or some other shit. Or, you know, if your bowels are not moving, they say you're constipated. Or if they're moving too freely, they say you have diarrhea. On and on and on and on and on the list goes. They just made the shit super complicated. And it's all bullshit. None of that's true. There's only one disease. There is only one disease, but I want to go a different way with it. There's only one cause of all disease. There's only one cause of disease. There's only one disease. So that one disease is toxicity. Period. Now, I've heard people refer to that as acidosis. I've heard people refer to that as mucus. You know, Dr. Sebi, which was a natural doctor, I believe, from Honduras. He would say there's only one disease or one cause of all disease, and that's mucus, excessive mucus production. Other people will say acidosis. They're, from what I remember reading, they're pretty much the same thing. But what it really all comes down to is toxicity. Whether you call it acidosis or mucus, whatever, it's toxicity. So if you're having vision troubles, your eyes are in a toxic state. If you're having digestive issues, your digestive system is in a toxic state. If you're having kidney or liver trouble, your kidney or liver is in a toxic state. Like whatever it is, it's toxicity. It's only one disease: toxicity. And there's only one cause of toxicity, and that's food poisoning. It's simple as that. Now, the medical industry, those quacks, try to make the shit super, super complicated so you can't understand it, and you feel like you have to come to them for their help and their guidance and whatever. But last statistic I've seen regarding them was approximately 300,000 people die every year at their hands. That's not a good track record. They're constantly being sued for medical malpractice. Lawyers are getting rich, literally getting rich off of medical malpractice suits, off of medical errors. Like, medical error is such a profitable, such a lucrative industry that there are law firms that's all they practice is medical error lawsuits. That's their whole field. They don't need to do anything else. Like, these experts have to carry insurance just for this purpose. So if they misdiagnose you, which is very common, prescribe you the wrong prescription, which is very common, if you die in their care, which is pretty common, if your condition gets worse in their care, which is really common, then their insurance, they have insurance, so their insurance will just pay you off or pay your family off. And that quack can continue practicing. This is the system. It's a for-profit industry, and their customer is sick people. There's only one disease. It's toxicity. And there's only one cause. And that's food poisoning. Now, I don't know, I could probably use a different word there in place of food poisoning, but by food poisoning, y'all need to think of something else to say there. But when I say food, what I mean by that is whatever you allow in your body that's not supposed to be in there. And that's not just food for many of us. In fact, it's not even food. Like, really, like, when you get down to it, it's inaccurate to call it food poisoning because food doesn't poison you. Food heals you. Food keeps you healthy. Food doesn't poison you. Chemicals poison you. Drugs poison you. Just toxic substances poison you. Shit that is not supposed to be inside of your body poisons you. But food doesn't poison you. What is food? For a human being, human beings being frugivores. Human beings are not herbivores. We're not carnivores. We're not omnivores. We're frugivores. And food for a frugivore is fruit, nuts, seeds, vegetables, whatever you can eat in its natural state. Food for a frugivore grows in nature. It's not on a grocery store shelf or in a cooler or the freezer. It's not in a box. It grows in nature. Now, of course, you go to the grocery store, if you see fruit is, on shelves, but let's not be petty here. Let's not be petty. You know what I mean? But that's what food is. So if you can't find it in nature, and if you can't eat it in its natural state, it's not food. Which means what? It's poison. It's toxic. And by the time these food companies and producers get done with it, they done lace the shit with more chemicals, more toxins, drugs. And then they, put it on the shelf and you buy it and you eat it and you love it because it's delicious. But you're not even considering, is this good for me? You're not even flipping the box over. Like, let me see what the fuck is in this. And reading the ingredients that's in it. Like, you don't even care. There's only one disease. It's toxicity. And there's only one cause. And until I come up with a different name for this, I'm going to still say food poisoning. But remember, food doesn't poison you. Sickness and disease are unnatural. All of it. It's not genetics. It's not hereditary. It's not age related. These are results of being poisoned. It's really that simple. And so, but you have to also include, it's not just what you eat. It's what you drink. Like, how many of us are drinking alcohol? Like, just saying that is like, what? But alcohol. It's poison. That's straight poison. How is it not? Prove me wrong. How many of us are smoking? Like whatever. Cigarettes, weed, black and white, like whatever. How many of us are smoking? That's poison. And I could, go like really deep with this into like, I start talking about like what you breathe. What about what you put on your skin? Like, everything you put on your skin is being absorbed into your body and makes its way to your bloodstream. What about what you're putting on your skin and in your hair? You ever, shit. If you ain't reading the ingredients in the food you're eating, then chances are you're not reading the ingredients in, your skincare products or your hair care products either. We just slap some shit on our skin. We don't understand that shit is being absorbed. Like our skin is like a sponge. It just absorbs it. And then it enters our body, our bloodstream. It's like Johnson & Johnson. I don't know if this is still going on, but not that long ago I was reading about lawsuits against them for their baby powder. Well, nobody's eating baby powder, right? You put it on your skin. But people were reportedly getting cancer. And like so many people were getting cancer that the lawyers went after them, sue them. That baby powder was being absorbed into their skin, into their bloodstream. And it's the blood is the food for the body. Like everything you consume, even what you put on your skin and in your hair and like all of that, becomes a part of your blood. And this is what feeds all the systems of the body. So, yeah. So what about that? That counts. That's part of it. So I don't know what to call it other than food poisoning, because, this is all part of it. I have a video on here titled "All Disease is Diet Related." And again, even with saying diet, this is the same thing. Like it's about what you are allowing to enter your body. Like however it enters. Whether you eat it, you drink it, you smell it, you snort it, you fucking shoot it up. You fucking wipe it on you. You wash your hair with like whatever. And then there's I kind of hesitate to say this one because I had a video deleted from here once before for talking along these lines, but it's, I won't use the word, but I'll say injections. I'll say it like that. And that covers like a wide range of things. But injections, injections could be like shit like fucking Botox. I think that's what that shit is called, that women are injecting in their lips. It could be that. It could be shit that people are having injected in their skin to, get rid of wrinkles. It could be a lot of shit. It could be shit that people are allowing to be injected into them, believing it's going to protect them from disease. It could be other types of drugs that people are injecting in them, like street drugs. It's a whole host of shit. But you got to throw that in there too. It's all poisoning. It's all poison. And just because somebody in a white coat is administering the injection, and just because this person in a white coat got paperwork on their walls and certificates, it doesn't make it any less poison. Like poison is poison. Period. You're not supposed to be injecting anything into your body. Like, period. So again, there's only one disease. All of these things that I'm mentioning, and there might be some shit that I didn't mention, and but there's only one disease. That's toxicity. And whatever part of your area of your body that this toxicity affects, the quacks, they give that a name, and they give it a name here and all that, but it's the same thing. Doesn't matter. It's all toxicity. It's the same shit. And it's all caused by the same thing. It's poison. Poisoning. I'll take food out of it. I won't say food poisoning. But it's poisoning. As simple as that. So simple. Like, if you want to be healthy, you just stop poisoning yourself. Or stop allowing other people to poison you. It's as simple as that. Just because somebody got a fucking degree don't mean they know what the fuck they talking about. That should be clear. Like, there should be no debating that. Just based off of what I said in this video alone. Just because somebody went to school don't mean they know what they talking about. And I ain't gonna get into all of that. But yeah. So I hope that was helpful to at least one person, at least one viewer. And I'd love to know what you think about that. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think.